Everyone, today I'm going to tie a chartreuse pike popper. This is a very nice fly that I've had a lot of success with. Has great movement in the water, and it really attracts the pikes from miles around. So here goes. First off, we're going to use some of this new big fly fiber in the very cool blended color called Green Lantern. Nice color. And then we're going to use some flashabou in chartreuse, some lateral scales in red, some microlawn in chartreuse, and some rubber legs in chartreuse, a popper head, and that will and some saddle feathers, and that's about it. So first off, I'm going to take a small bundle of or not a small bundle, but a decent sized bundle of big fly fiber. And before I'm gonna attach that, it's important to get a good and sound and big base of tying thread on your flies to make sure that your materials, once they're on there, they're gonna stay there. So attaching my big fly fiber, applying a lot of thread. We want this fly to last to numerous pikes or muskies, so it needs to you need to use some thread in order to make sure that this will last through more than one set of teeth. So I like this chartreuse and green colors for poppers. I don't know why, but they seem to have a very good effect on pikes. I can't say for muskie, but I'm pretty sure the same will apply to that species. I don't know if it's because it looks like frogs or something like that. It just works. What we want to do is we want to continually make sure that what the base we're tying on is not going to be too big to the popper head. So I'm going to basically tie most of the fly on this part here, and then just tie a small portion of it all the way up here along the shank. So that part is going to be where my popper head is going to stay. Is going to attach to with the super glue. Then I'm going to take some holographic flashabou in chartreuse. Again, this is probably one of the coolest colors in flash ever made. Can't get enough of this stuff. Just pulling this out so it's not completely even in length. Working it in the air, and then I'm gonna tie this down. I'm gonna do that a bit further down here. I'm gonna tie this down so it's gonna be roughly 20 centimeters long, something like that. When you're tying poppers like this, you don't want them to be too long, because when you're tying pike or musky tube flies or shank flies, you don't have the problem with the fly being too long or too big, because you will have your hook extended further back down into the wing. You won't get this with this type of popper, which means that you cannot make this fly too long, because that would drastically decrease the hooking percentage. I'm just gonna take this here and pull it back. I'm sorry if you can hear some strange noises in the background. That's basically just my wife headed off to bed, and then my son. He's a bit ill, so he's coughing a lot. I do apologize sincerely for that. I hope you can bear with that. I'm gonna try to speak as speedily as I can, and just kind of voice that over if that's okay with you. I've had some good pikes attack this fly, and the largest I've gotten on a popper, I think actually was going for this chartreuse pattern here, was 1.9 meters. My largest on the popper last year, at least. So far so good. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna move a bit further up here, and then I'm gonna tie down some of these lateral scales here in red. Taking not many of these, because this is a very wide flash, so you don't want too many of these. You simply just want a few of these for effect. You could call this the bleeding effect. I like that. I like to have bleeding effects on my flies. It looks great, I think, on many patterns. Just gonna tie 5 of these down, so they're gonna be distributed, well, roughly all the way around here. Just gonna cut off these. No need for these anymore. Then I'm gonna take my saddle feathers, and I really must say I like saddle feathers a lot for pike flies, because what they do is they simply provide and add a lot of vitality and a lot of movement in the water. These move independently from all the rest of the stuff you add here. So what these feathers does is they will move, and they will add so much more to the fly. Also, they will of course add a lot of contrast, because of the grizzly striations there is on these. I'm gonna tie these 5 feathers down here individually to make sure that they are positioned where I want them to be. I'm tying these so the shiny part of the feather is in towards the body. This means that the natural curve of the feathers will curve outwards, as you can see here, and this will make them move more erratic in the water. 5 of these. If you want more on, you can, well, of course, add more yourself. You can leave them out, but I really enjoy them. Really think they are a nice addition. So, I'm going to take a small amount of flashabou again here, just to add a bit more bling to this fly. Again, doing as I did before, pulling it out here. Like that. Gonna start tying this down a bit further up the hook shank to make sure that this is gonna be part of the stuff that's gonna come, that's gonna help help fasten my popper head, like so. Oh, this looks almost like a Christmas tree. I know a guy at Headrun, Don, who has this kind of crazy notion about Christmas trees. He just seems to think they're everywhere and likes to do all sorts of stuff with the Headrun flies to make Christmas trees. So this goes out to you, Don. Well, so as you can see, the final part of this fly is gonna be we're gonna take some of this nice microlawn here, also in chartreuse. This is going to become kind of like a hackle to the fly. I'm going to divide this almost in the middle. Just again pull this out. So, and as you can see, this is nice because it is really moving a lot. Will move a lot on the fly here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to distribute it as evenly as I can all the way around the hook here. I'm going to tie this a bit further up here, like so. I'm going to turn all of this around. Make sure this is tied all nice and secure. I'm going to look, okay, that's where we need to go. I'm going to take the thread here a bit further back and make sure everything is nice and tight. Here, a lot of thread. I'm gonna watch how that looks. Oh, that's actually a bit too long, too far back. So I'm gonna take a bit of the thread back here. I'm gonna move a bit backwards again, because to get the right effect, I want it to appear like the flesh and the microlawn is coming directly out of the popper head, and not to be able to see any tying thread in between, like that. Making my whip finish. Tying this down. And what we want to do with this popper head, this is a tapered foam popper it's called, is we want to expand the hole here in the back of the popper. I'm going to do that with my fly tying scissor here. If you have anything that will make the hole here bigger, you can use those. Use your dubbing needle or whatever, as you can see here. I don't know how this sounds, but as you can see there, it will fit completely where I want it to be. Everything is nice and organized. So what I'm gonna do is gonna let this be right here. Gonna add some super glue, and the next trick here is crucial, because now you need to push this as far back as you want in one go. If you stop too soon, you cannot find the hook eye. If you stop too late, you will kind of have like that. If you've made your preparations, this will be easy going, and your fly will be completely like it should be. Good. 2 things left to do. I'm gonna attach a small amount of super glue here on one side. I'm gonna take a red 3D eye. Any color will do, as long as it fits the rest of the color scheme here on the fly. Just taking something to make sure that this will fit. You do not want to do this with your with your fingers, because then you're gonna have your have your thumbprint attached and latched onto this fly, and it will probably never let go. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna take my dubbing needle, heat that up with a lighter, like so. Put this straight through here, like this. And then I'm gonna take some wriggle eggs in chartreuse, a nice product as well. Wriggle eggs. Just taking 5 or something like that. As I talked about before, that this could probably imitate a frog or something like that. Then this adds to the overall effect of a theme of a frog. So I'm gonna pull this through here with using my my threader. And then you can decide for yourself exactly how long you want these legs. I want these a bit longer than this, but to make sure that these legs is gonna stay where I want them to be, I'm gonna attach a small amount of super glue just there, and then I'm gonna pull the super glue into my popper head. And as you can see, then it's gonna be the super glue inside here is gonna make sure that that my rubber legs will stay where I want them to. And there you have it. Of course, it needs an eye on the other side, but there's no need to do that. I'm going to do that later. Those were the words. Thank you for listening. Very, very awesome, excellent popper for any predator that likes frogs or well, just green stuff.